All right, welcome to this week's training. We are talking supplements, but specifically for women going through hormonal changes, right? So by the end of the training, I'm giving you 10 supplements that's gonna help support you through menopause. We'll talk about how they work and how they're good for optimal health. So why do they matter? Uh, they matter for many reasons, but women going through transitions in hormonal shifts will lead to various changes, as you've probably seen or felt. Bone loss is one, decline of muscle, your risk for cardiovascular health goes up, brain fog, all of these things. So nutritional deficiencies can make these symptoms worse, like night sweats, fatigues, mood swings. Supplements are the the bridge. They're like, so picture having a road, then a tunnel here, or a big gap, and then another road. So the bridge, that's the gap that supports our overall well-being. So the goal is always to get as many nutrients and everything you can from real whole foods, but we're going to talk about that as well. So let's actually start with that. The food quality is not like it used to be, to say the least. So even when we were kids, like if you look at even like Cheerios, if you look at Cheerios when we were kids and you look at Cheerios now, it's a different product. Not that they were good when we were kids, but they were a heck of a lot better than they are now. So food quality has significantly declined, and that's because of just our modern agricultural practices. So, like soil depletion, all these freaking pesticides and preservatives we're spraying on foods. It's led to lower nutrients in our food. So, here's an example: an apple today has 48% less vitamin C than it did 50 years ago. It's like half the vitamin C. Spinach has lost up to 75% of its vitamin A and iron. 75%. That's insane. Magnesium levels in vegetables have declined anywhere from 25 to 80%, depending on which research or documents you guys you listen to. That's just over the last century. So an apple from like 10, 15 years ago contained way more minerals and vitamins than ones today because it had richer soil, had less exposure to all these chemicals. And due to the soil depletion and genetic modifications for appearance and shelf life, rather than focusing on nutrition, even organic products lack the nutrient density that it once had. And this is why supplementation it's really essential to fill in those gaps, to build that bridge. You just don't, it's like, I say it's impossible because nothing's impossible, but it's super challenging to get all the nutrients you need from food alone. I mean, most people eat the same 8 to 12 foods per week for the most part. So you're missing something, right? So these are in no particular order, but the two big ones I'm gonna start with. This is most of our country, like the highest percentage of people are deficient in magnesium and vitamin D. All right, so vitamin D, let's talk a little bit about each one. So as we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Vitamin D is critical for calcium absorption. So that's why you want to have, anytime you get a vitamin D, you want to make sure it has K2 as well. That ensures that the calcium is directed to the bones rather than the arteries, preventing cardiovascular disease. So K2 helps the vitamin D absorb. Um, so vitamin D deficiency symptoms can be weak bones, frequent illness, fatigue, depression. So the doses vary for everybody. Like these are just ranges. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you guys what to take, what not to take. I'm just providing information. But doses is anywhere between 2,000 to 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. I take more in the winter and a little bit less in the summer because I'm outside more. So that's just kind of how I cycle it. Magnesium is number two. That's the second biggest one that we're deficient in. I mean, I've learned so much about magnesium in like the last 6 months. I didn't realize how freaking important it is. So it's necessary for over 300 biochemical reactions in our body. So if you're magnesium depleted, there's 300 biochemical reactions in the body that are not going to function properly. That's insane. So needless to say, I have jacked up my magnesium. I take, I don't know how many's in hours. I take 3 of them at night before I go to bed, or like an hour. I try to do an hour before I go to bed. But um, some of the reactions in the body is stress response. It affects our stress response. It affects our sleep. It affects muscle function. And unfortunately, due to soil depletion, even magnesium-rich foods contain way less than they used to. All right. So deficiency in magnesium, muscle cramps is a big one. Poor sleep, anxiety, constipation. I mean, it goes on and on. There's different forms of magnesium too. I'm certainly not an expert in all the different forms. I use glycinate, I think is how you say it, but there's citrate as well. Um, each one kind of has its own little function. Glycinate, I believe, is for sleep, which is why I use it. Vitamin B complex vitamins. B vitamins support metabolism, energy levels, cognitive function. So B6 helps balance hormones. B12 prevents fatigue, and folate aids in mood stability. All right, so those are all kind of the B vitamins. B complex is a mixture of B vitamins. So deficiencies in B are fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, poor nerve function. Next one, omegas, huge for brain health. Reduce inflammation, supporting brain health, maintaining cardiovascular function. And most people consume too many inflammatory omega 6s and not enough omega 3s. So I'm not going to get too in depth in this, but if you get some good blood work, which I actually have something coming for you guys that I think is going to be, I know is going to be a game changer for a lot of you, and it's very economical. I'm testing it now. I'm just waiting for my results. It's blood work, but it's very in-depth blood work. But I want to see like what the whole experience is before I always go through the process before I suggest anything to people. But it's looking really good. I'm going through it. I have my parents going through it, just analyzing blood work, and then they'll put together, like the top 5 supplements that would benefit you, the foods that are helping you, the foods that are not, that you should start to, weed off of. So it's really good. Then you got to consult with an expert as well. I haven't had any of this yet, so I don't want to speak for it, but coming soon, should be within the next few weeks that I'll know more. That's super exciting for sure. Um, so deficiencies of omega, definitely brain fog, joint pain. My mom has rheumatoid arthritis. When she runs out of omegas because she forgets to freaking order them, her joint pain gets worse. All right, so dry skin, cardiovascular issues. Best source is fish oil or allergy-based omega-3. All right, so anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams. I take 2 a day. I do one in the morning, one at night. Just kind of spread out. I don't know if it does anything differently than just taking 2 at the same time, but in my brain, it gives me omegas throughout the day. All right, number 5, creatine. This is not just for athletes. It used to be. I used to take creatine when I was first got out of college to put on muscle mass. All kinds of new research. It's like this super supplement that no one really talks about. I don't know why. It prevents um not prevents, it actually preserves muscle mass, prevents muscle loss, I should say. Cognitive function. So that's the big one. Great for brain health. Boost energy at a cellular level, which is, super important for menopausal women. Deficiency symptoms, muscle loss, decreased strength, fatigue, reduced cognitive function. Doses 5 grams is the suggested for just like everyday um, health. But for brain function, it's 10 plus. So 10 grams plus. I take 2 scoops. It's 5 grams per scoop. I take 2 scoops because my deal with my family's Jen's parents, dementia and Alzheimer's, and so I'm loading up on shit for brain health. That's like my number one thing right now, or it has been the last few years. All right, so things like adaptogen herbs, ashwagandha, which came up on my blood work, so I'll be taking that soon. I've actually ordered it. These herbs can regulate cortisol, reduce fatigue, mood stabilization. Maca, M-A-C-A, I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's particularly beneficial for hormone balance and improving libido in menopausal women. So have your husband buy you guys ashwagandha. Maca, M-A-C-A. All right. So there's no doses, and herbs anywhere from like 300 to 600 milligrams daily, depending on the herb. Usually they'll tell you on the bottle. 7, collagen or collagen peptides. Collagen is huge. Collagen production declines with age, leads to like saggy skin, joint pain, weaker connective tissue. So supplementing with collagen will help support skin elasticity and joint health. So like it gives your skin a more younger, vibrant look, and it helps avoid wrinkles, joint pain. Brittle hair is another one of them. Nails. Those are symptoms, brittle hair and brittle nails of collagen deficiency. Number 8, probiotics. So probiotic you'd take if you had gut issues. So gut microbiome plays a key role in digestion, immune function, hormonal balance. And a healthy gut helps detox excess estrogen and prevents bloating and discomfort. So if you aren't bloating and aren't going to the bathroom regularly, and probably don't need this, but I take one. Just, I do all those things fine, but for me, everything's just proactive uh, medicine, if you will. It's not medicine, but you know what I mean? Proactive measures. So deficiencies would be if you're bloating, you're constipated, these would be results of a reason to take probiotics. Poor digestion, frequent infections, and you don't necessarily like some of these have like it's like 5 billion cultures or uh what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say worms. I got worms in my head, but um cultures, I guess. It doesn't matter how many, so don't be sold by marketing. It's not how many, it's like getting the right ones. All right. So I used to buy that, and then Jen uh, educated me, and then I did my own research because who listens to your wife? But she was right, as usual. All right, number 9, we're almost done. Um, Herbal hormone balancers. So these are more like herbal based. So black cohosh, Cohosh, reduces hot flashes and night sweats. Castleberry, probably heard of, supports progesterone balance. And evening primrose oil, which Jen has, she diffuses in a diffuser, helps with mood swings and skin health. All right. So if you're deficient in some of these things, night sweats, hot flashes, mood swings, hormonal imbalance, is going to be the types of symptoms you have. All right, zinc, last one. Zinc is essential for immune function. My blood work showed that I could benefit from more zinc. I was in range. And the nice thing about this blood work is it's not like in range with sick people. Like all of our data is based off of the normal sick person, right? Or our country, which is very sick. So we don't want to be the average of that. We want optimal health. unless you want to be average, go by those numbers, but I want to be optimal. I want to be excellent, above average, legendary. So they give you those numbers. So those are the numbers we're shooting for. So I'm within range within zinc, but zinc would benefit me from getting more. So I'm taking zinc now. Wound healing and hormonal regulation also plays a role in skin health and hair growth. All right, so deficiency symptoms, weak immune system, hair loss, brittle nails, hormonal imbalances. All right, so kind of putting this all together, if I'm giving suggestions, again, we want to ideally, you want to base everything off data. That's what I spend so much money in supplements. I invested into this blood work so that I'm actually taking supplements for deficiencies, not just because I know it's good for me. So there's been 2 that I don't need. So I've cut out 2 and I've added 2. So but now I'm more efficient because I'm targeting what I need, not what I think I need. So guessing never works in anything, guys. Um, so I would start with a multivitamin. Like multivitamin we didn't cover, but it's like the basis. Multivitamin and omega are like the basic 2. I feel like 4. I feel like multi, omega, your magnesium and vitamin D are like the 4 essentials. Um, B complex, creatine, they're not far behind, but everybody has different budgets. I get that. So like you want to buy good quality stuff, not just crappy stuff at Walmart or Target or in those big box stores. We have supplements as some of you guys know, that are all third party tested. So that's something you want to make sure that it'll tell you on the back if it's independently tested or third party tested. If it's not, there's very little regulations for this stuff, guys. So they're mostly fillers. They find tons of metals in these things. Some of them are doing you more of a disservice than service. So just be careful where you buy stuff from. You get what you pay for with supplements, unfortunately. Um, if you're buying Walmart supplements, like I'm always at Walmart and I always look for bars, different, see if any new bars came out, protein bars. Um, and right across from it is the vitamins, and people just buy vitamins left and right there. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, they're just throwing their money out the window. So I'd rather not even have you take like a supplement if you're going to buy that stuff. You're throwing your money away. All right. So multivitamin is going to cover your basics. It'll give you like a little bit of vitamin D. It'll give you a little of the K2, the B vitamins, the magnesium. So that's why it's good all around. You most likely need more than what a multi will give you, but it's a good start. All right. So multi and omega, start there. If you're dealing with stress, mood swings, like those herbal hormone balancers and the adaptogens we talked about earlier. If you're having digestive issues, you definitely want to invest in probiotics. I didn't go over also enzymes. Digestive enzymes are really important. I also take digestive enzymes before my biggest meal. Once your digestive enzymes are gone or deplete, they're not coming back. Like a lot of things in our body we can regenerate. That's not one of them. So if you have trouble digestion, you'll probably be taking digestive enzymes forever. All right. So like optimally, food coming. I mean, nutrient dense diet is for best results. Paired with supplements that you're deficient in. Best way to find it is through blood work. Um, but I can tell you right now, like you're not wasting your money buying a multi and omega. My omega threes, they test everything. This not just like a basic test. So my threes were high. I mean, were low, and everything else was like perfect. There's like 8 different omega testings. So I haven't figured out. That's something I'll talk to the clinician about. But what I need to do to fix or raise those levels. Uh, Listen to your body, guys, and adjust what's needed. So if you're like tired all the time, you can ask me or your coach if you have a coach, or you can just Google it. Like what vitamins would be best if I'm XYZ, and you'll get some good information. AI is fantastic with giving advice for supplements. I use AI all the time for my supplements. I'll literally upload my blood work and just say what this was before I found this company. What are the top 10 supplements you suggest for me after seeing my blood work? And I'll just give it to you. It's crazy. I just have it. You have to prompt it right. So you want to prompt it. Well, it's up to you. I prompt mine for Eastern medicine numbers because Western medicine is, like I said, is the average of sick people. So Eastern medicine is more higher standards, I'd say. Uh, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Uh, I would like try to like if you're taking supplements now and some of these things like hit home, try a different one or try to add something. And if you heard something that you don't have, like for example, if you're in the sun all the time, you might not need vitamin D, right? Even though most people are deficient in it. But just trying to think of examples like if you're taking something that you don't feel like you need, then wean off of it for a little bit. Like every 6 months I get blood work. So every 6 months my supplements change, right? So you don't have to do it that often, at least once a year, getting good blood work done, in-depth blood work. And then, just supplementing as needed. All right. I highly suggest creatine too for people. I mean, there's so many. Like I said, everybody's got budgets, but if you have an endless budget, I wish I did, then I I'd load up on a lot of these things. So